Alright, folks, another beautiful day in Arkansas. I want to share something with y'all. You know, my channel, it says I'm sharing my music and my experiences. I want to share it with y'all, my struggle with cannabis. And don't get me twisted, I fucking love cannabis. I love the way it tastes and smells and looks and everything. And I've struggled with it for like 28 years now. Basically, just smoking, not able to see over that mountain whatsoever, you know, every day. Just smoking, smoking. And I realized over time, when I've smoked and then I've given it up, went through a period of suffering. Basically, I've been chasing what I thought was joy and happiness for the longest time, and it was really just giving my mind what it wanted. That kind of sucked when I learned that, because like, how much of life have you not experienced or missed out on because you needed a substance to enjoy life? You know what I mean? I think what got me about cannabis was you didn't need very much at the start to feel the effects, you know? I remember I was in the 9th grade and my girlfriend broke up with me. I had fell in love with her. We had been together all summer, and I like fell in love with the girl, and the first day she broke up with me for this other guy. And I remember from then on, every morning I would smoke weed and I wouldn't feel that pain, you know, that shitty ass feeling that you feel. And from there I was just hooked. Anyway, I noticed that I'll stop, I'll put myself through it for 3 or 4 days, be back to normal. My mind is good, I'm happy, you know, I want to do things again. But when you first stop smoking, man, you go through like 72, 48, 24 hours of anhedonia, which is you're not enjoying life at all or appreciating anything. You're basically just sitting there like looking for stuff to make you feel somewhat of fulfillment, because it sucks bad. I think it's somewhat of a it's what's the word I'm looking for, where something, people talk about it too much and they say all these great things about it. Anyway, I've used it like a crutch though, because my life isn't what I want it to be. I'm not where I want to be in my life, so I use it like a crutch. And it's been like a fucking cane, basically. And like, analogy would be like an old decrepit man with a cane that never went to the doctor to go see about his problems. He just always used a cane, and the cane eventually wears out. That cane is analogy for your tolerance, I'm gonna say. But I know anybody that smoked for a long time, they know their tolerance is super high. So like every time you get a new strain, you're like, dang, maybe this one will feel different, you know? And then your mind's like, yeah, it tastes good, it'll smell different. This time it's indica versus sativa, blah, 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 blah. And it makes you feel that way, you know? But then you smoke and you're like, damn, I could have waited for this, I don't feel anything. So then you go to sleep that night, wake up the next morning thinking you're good because you're refreshed, and you really just set yourself up for another day of nonsense. I know what I'm talking about. So if anybody says I'm lying, then like, you can just, you know, whatever. I know from a lot of experience, and anybody else that has experience with cannabis knows exactly what I'm talking about, knows I'm right about this shit. It's a tough one too, because in your mind you're like, damn, you know, cannabis comes from the earth, it's beautiful, it's a plant, how could it possibly be dangerous, you know? That's what your mind tells itself all the time, in order to get it again, to not stop. Because you know, once you stop, there's like this little circuit in your mind, and the cannabis is like a little block, and you remove that block, and for a few days your life is shit. Or maybe even, well, it's down to 24 hours for me now because I quit all the time. I put myself through it all the fucking time, and I'm down to 24 hours now. The second day I'm back playing my ukulele, singing, eating, and everything. But a lot of the time it lasts a lot longer. If you smoke, if you go on a spree and you never take a break from it, it'll last a whole lot longer. Alright, I guess that's all I want to say. Maybe take this into consideration if you decide to pick up the habit of cannabis. You know, it's a lovely drug. It can be beneficial, but you need to apply some discipline and moderation, because if you don't, it'll eat you up just like any other drug. Peace.